It's working. The last time I did this, I was holding baby Louie. Like he was a tiny little nugget. It's like one of the last ones up here. So it's been a while.
Who did you say it was that was helping to listen? I have a friend that but I was sending it to because they had a lot of like all of the surrounding events for the last couple weeks. So I was like, hey, this is a nice space. Okay.
Alright, everybody, I'm gonna play a song for you guys real quick, and then we'll do other things.
I was on my knees again, begging for my ways to change. But the truth I've covered, the pressure I'm under to please you, it's gone away. You're a temptress, you're to blame for the guilt I can't explain. Though there's winters and summers, and so much has changed, you're the fortress for my shame. I was born in the shadows, preacher and saint. I was raised in the house of God, but the blood on my lips, the dirt on my face, it's all the religion I've got. It's all the religion I've got. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's all religion I've got. I was lost inside her arms, trying to climb my way back out. But it ain't what you got, or the buildings you bought, that'll save you from yourself. She's a needy heart, built by greed and selfish men. Oh, it's easy to love her, for all you discover, she is bound to fall again. I was born in the shadows, preachers and saints. I was raised in the house of God, but the blood on my lips, the dirt on my face, it's all religion I've got. Oh, it's all religion I've got. Whoa, oh, religion I've got.
I like that song for lots of reasons, but I think it works with what we're talking about today as well. So that's Wilder Woods, everybody. All right, we can name the good we've been holding on to, seeing, tasting, experiencing, looking forward to. And we'll keep going. Just name it again. No problem.
I was paying attention.
I got a pizza oven for my birthday. So
A what?
a pizza oven.
A pizza oven.
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
Expect.
Opened it. I know. I can make a 12-inch
Does that
pizzas.
mean,
So
how long does it take? Does that mean we're going to make your own pizza bags? Yes,
we are doing that.
Hey, I bet I could do it gluten free, but I have a good pizza dough. West.
We were just talking Avery also.
Does she? Okay, perfect. It's so funny because you can get a really good pizza dough from Trader Joe's, and it's like a garlic and herb one. And so when we had Trader Joe's close to us, we would do that. And so I was like, how can I do this? So I found it was like a sourdough discard recipe, and then like it incorporated like the garlic and herb.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
That's wonderful.
Love a good homemade pizza.
Apparently, like cooks a pizza in like 90 seconds.
So everybody could make theirs, and then we could toss it in, and
That's so fun.
it'd be very
I
cool.
love that.
Science.
What? It's modifiers.
It's like super simple
That's
too.
really cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Kevin's like, why didn't you buy me one?
You can borrow one.
Taylor, you can send her the link.
Okay.
Amazon.
Oh, what we need to do is mail our own way. And then
Wow,
the-
we are a commune.
Have you tried?
I haven't tried it yet. Well, we got sick, and then I just so I'm gonna try it.
All right.
But there we go. Listen, we have all the makings for a good time.
I can make some cheese out of it all that, guys.
There you go.
You can make cheese.
Yes.
Oh man,
I mean, I haven't made cheese. You can. You as in collective group.
She
Listen,
would.
if it becomes post-apocalyptic, we can have pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Someone needs a garden.
Avery.
Yeah.
Avery.
Oh,
Avery.
we're moving.
Hey.
Hear that?
I didn't even tell me. I'm so excited for you.
We are moving, and we have garden beds.
Perfect.
Okay, that's super exciting. I love that.
That's already gonna be good, I think, right? Move in less than a month, so which will be fine.
Oh, that's exciting.
There's a
I
lot
need
of-
to see pictures.
Yeah,
I can't.
I'll show you a video. It's a really cute house. We're very excited. It's bigger, so that'll be good. We live in a 2-bedroom right now. And it's great. So
2-bedroom.
we live 2-bedroom, 1 bath. So, but this house is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, which is wild.
You need the extra bedroom because
An extra 1,000 square
What?
feet.
you need the extra bedroom because
No.
Good.
I thought maybe I was pregnant, but then I started my
That's what we're gonna have to declare. And I was like, girl, I would
Yeah.
have been
We're all good.
panicked.
That would have been really stressful. So, anyway, well, that's exciting. Yeah.
that is exciting.
How far is it from where you are now?
5 minutes. Yeah, it's in the tree street, so we're very excited to be over there. That would be like our current neighborhood. We really love our current neighborhood.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that would be like our second neighborhood.
That's so fun.
No, apparently Caleb's a rapper.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
I need to get the video from Brandon, but Abby had gone to sleep. And Caleb was just like, I don't know. So I was like, just come down. We were watching the second game. And he was like, I made the song, guys. And we were like, oh, sweet. And then he just started being like, and he did it for like, he just performed for like 20 minutes. And it was the best. We were dying laughing. But I think he took it as encouragement, thankfully.
Nice.
But it was
That's cool.
Aww.
big
You just put them on a career arc.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, he was in like a sleep sack or
So
like a sleep plug thing with an eye mask on, just like.
That is so good.
We have to
Oh,
see the video.
That's perfect.
That's one of those videos you played in wedding.
100%. Just like he's
Or when he
so
went
good
to
at
the
that.
Grammy.
That's
right.
right.
Yes.
There's a documentary about him one day.
Oh,
Put that in the
yeah.
box.
That'll be the closing.
That's what the closing
Where
credits.
it
Yeah.
began.
That's so funny.
That's fine.
That's fun.
What are you doing, Rosie? You okay?
There's a song on right now, so I think she's.
She got it. Go for it, babe. Our family is almost not sick anymore. So
We've probably both had a sinus
we just have
infection
some stuff in it.
because of our children being sick, but they were fevered for almost a full week. It's over there, baby. It's at Avery.
Here you go.
So yeah, we're not
Yeah.
dying now.
You don't sell the cup.
We just kind of sound like we are. I learned how to sew a bag yesterday
Very cool.
with Lexi, and it was awesome. And so I'm gonna just, I feel like now that I understand like basics. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this thing or that thing, and just like it was enjoyable. I want to like learn how to make things.
That's fun.
And I'm like, I just want to make things for them, even if it's just like little play clothes or dress up like type. I was like, that'd be so fun. But it was a nice, I don't know, outlet and like hobby to discover.
Anything else?
Blake's birthday. Happy birthday, Blake.
Thank you. I've crossed the horizon.
Across the Rubicon has been breached.
Yeah, it's been 30 feels more existentially weird.
I feel like when I turned 30, I was like, it hit me in the face of like, oh, people don't actually know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like adults are still
Clueless.
don't know what they're doing
Yeah.
at all. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
2 years
30.
later, I still carry that.
What?
2 years later, I
That's
still
right.
carry that.
Yeah, the number 30 sounds more official than it feels.
It's true.
So.
That was afraid of 30. I'm going to thrive in my 30s.
Yeah.
Peak.
Already am.
It's like, what if I already peaked? You know, what if it's what if it's downhill?
It's pregnancy, bro.
Oh, okay. Are you saying that my peak is ahead of me?
Once you put up the orange apron and it was
Yeah.
Once you left Home Depot, dog,
Started going downhill.
That's why it's beckoning you back.
It is always beckoning you back.
No, I don't think.
This season of life, I'm at lows more. So
You don't want Blake to do the 6 to 3 sketch?
No,
No more.
I just wanted to come home after work and.
pretty sure Home Depot is super mega.
it is super mega.
Yeah, for sure.
I just said this to somebody the other day. I'm pretty sure Home Depot like donated like
Yeah, they're like
millions of dollars.
Really?
Yeah, to
No, I will be shopping.
no. Unfortunately, that's where we get most of our grout. So it's kind of a
Right, well, your hands are tied. You don't really have much of a
It's
choice.
like, we were at Barnes and Noble last night after dinner, and Leah found a book she wanted, and she's like, "It's $17 cheaper on Amazon." I'm like, but I don't want to give Jeff Bezos all my
Right?
money.
Isn't that the
Go
hard
to the bookstore
Well,
and they'll order books for you.
So
which bookstore?
The jump
Really?
one. You just tell them what you want and they'll put it in order.
we'll do that.
So you should do that. Give them your money. and
Okay, I
say,
didn't know that. That's really good because
Yeah.
that's like we were talking like we don't want to give our money to Amazon, but then there are certain things where I'm like, well,
Yeah.
we can't just afford to pay $17 more
Yeah.
every time we.
I will
want to get
say
something.
it is
What do
like
we do?
a little more expensive than Amazon would sell it, but
Which-
that's because they.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so hard to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, to like shop for things and be like, huh, what am I supporting? And
it's true. Was it really $17 cheaper? Because that's astounding.
$17 for the exact same book, hardback.
That is wild.
And I was like, this is crazy. But then I found that it's available in the Libby app now
Oh yeah.
to
I
borrow,
know
like just
Libby.
on hold. And so I'm like, I'll just do that. To borrow it from the library. But I was like,
3 books on Mercari, which I know is so many, but at least I'm not
yeah.
throwing it away. Yeah, I guess I'm on Mercari a lot.
I didn't really have books.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
got kids' clothes
Yeah.
from there. But
I had never shopped there before. I didn't even think about
It's
that.
like
yeah.
it's sort of like a
I was gonna say,
it's
it's
like,
like,
but I didn't realize they
But I
had.
like it.
Yeah.
What
is it?
Mercari. Yeah. I
Oh,
okay.
That's cool.
It's great for like selling like home stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Rosie, baby, you gotta let Finley scoot and sit, or we gotta come over here. Okay, Avery will help you. I don't know if this is a name of the good, but it's not bad. I don't know. It's really tricky. But I had a conversation with my dad. It was via text. Just kind of about like everything that's been going on. And it didn't leave me feeling, I mean, he didn't change at all. He still thinks the exact same thing, but I think I was able to approach it in a way that felt, I don't know, more healthy and more like, I'm asking you questions and not holding any expectations that you're going to do anything with that, but just like, I guess it was like a civil conversation. It didn't feel combative from either side, which I don't know if that's progress, probably not, but I guess I just left it not feeling, like normally I leave those conversations and we don't have them often, and we probably had the last one like 6 months ago, and we don't have those conversations ever, and we just did, but I didn't find myself feeling like enraged and tight chest and anxiety, which is a good thing for me. Yeah, to just be able to confidently share, like, hey, like, this is what I believe, this is what I think, like, this is why I ask questions, and not leave it feeling drained and STUPID for what I think I leave those conversations because I was talking to my therapist about how like I need something from my dad almost. So, like, I never provided. And so I seek like validation and I never get it and I'm not going to. But I don't feel like I didn't get it this time, but I didn't leave it feeling like defeated.
That's good.
That felt good.
Yeah, sometimes with stuff like that, especially if someone's so polar opposite as us, it's probably healthy to measure as small improvements as you can and take inventory of them.
Like I was able to come at it more objectively and asking more questions and not like I'm coming at you like why don't you get this? Yeah, it was more like I was asking things and then I was getting like answers. I was like, oh well, what about this? And it was like I don't know if it was productive at all. I mean, I really don't think it was, but if you don't have those conversations, like I was talking to my therapist, like I think I'm the only person in his life that he will ever have conversations like this with, that he actually like values and cares about. So I feel like I need to have the conversations.
Sure.
But for so long I didn't have it because I couldn't do it without flying off the handle.
Yeah.
So therapy.
That's good. Yeah, take inventory of every small percentage improvement.
Anything else? We got 3.
You are cute. You are cute.
All right, everybody. I got some words. In the last 2 years of my life, there's probably 2 things that I end up talking about all the time. One of them is how Christianity as a whole has become increasingly Jesus-less. I feel like I end up talking about that every Sunday, basically. It doesn't matter what we're going for, somehow I end up over there. And there's this other thing that I have talked about at length, but if I'm trying to identify stuff that's defining who I am right now in this season of my life, that's really influencing me, it's the increasing Jesus-lessness of Christianity and the need to make Christianity Jesus-y again. And this other thing, which I'm talking about today, and you guys have heard me talk about it a handful of times, but just to solidify it, this is something I think in the last year and a half has gifted me the most freedom in how I think about faith and the Bible. And it's not totally quantified in my brain, but even why traditional churches work. This is an answer for me in my head of why people go back to the known stuff. So anyways, it's the stuff I'm just always turning over. And the stuff that I keep coming back to is stuff I think is meaningful. So instead of doing the first one, because you guys could probably just quote everything I would say, I'm going to try this one. Give you guys something different today. But I'm calling today Dare to be a Fundamentalist. So there you go. Have I told you guys the joke about the mystic, the fundamentalist, and the evangelical who die and go to heaven? We talked about this? Kevin's like, oh, I know this one. So we haven't done this?
I want to hear.
Okay. This is a fun one. I'm not a comedian, so I'm going to try my best. I'm not a comedian, so I'm not a comedian. Okay, so a mystic, a evangelical, and a fundamentalist all die on the same day and they go to heaven. To go into heaven, you have to cross the pearly gates. Before you cross the... Leah's tossing. To cross into the pearly gates, you have to have a meeting with Jesus beforehand, and then you can go in. So the mystic goes first. He goes in the little meeting room with Jesus. He turns on the light. It says in progress. He's in there for 5 minutes. Mystic walks out, laughing, shaking his head, and he says, I knew I got it all wrong. Laughing, walks into the pearly gates. The evangelical is next, goes into the little meeting room. Jesus turns on the light, says in progress, and he's in there for 3 hours. The evangelical walks out and says, how did I get all this wrong? Laughing, walks into the pearly gates. Last but not least, fundamentalist walks into the... What? The fundamentalist walks into the meeting room with Jesus. Jesus turns on the light, says in progress. He's in there for 12 hours. Jesus walks out and says, I can't believe I got all that wrong. Hold on to that. You guys know magic tricks. Back in the day, I used to make magic tricks on YouTube. They probably don't exist anymore. But there's every magic trick has 3 movements, okay? There's the pledge. You guys know this, right? You guys know the 3 movements of magic, right? All right, in magic tricks, there's 3 movements. There's the pledge. You're shown something ordinary. There's a penny. There's something called the turn. That ordinary thing is disrupted. It disappears. XYZ. Then there's something called the prestige. It's when it returns again. Sometimes not exactly the same. So there's, it's like the traditional like penny magic trick. Someone has a penny, rub it on their elbow, show you again, it's still there. Rub it on your elbow, it's still there. The 3rd time, it's gone. And then they're like, oh, look over here under this cup, and it's over there. Okay, magic trick. So the pledge is here's the penny. The turn is, oh, it's gone. And the prestige is it's over here. Okay? So 3 moves of magic. I used to do this all the time. I was a big magic guy.
I never saw these videos.
You knew this about me, though.
I didn't know about you, but I never saw these.
I was really good at magic.
Find these videos, 'cause I'm sure they're still out there.
I was really good at magic, trust me. All right, so most of us want, I'm going to use this as an illustration, okay? I think most of us want faith to go straight to the prestige. Hey. What's up? Most of us want faith to go straight to the prestige whenever everything appears again and it's all fine. To keep the connections, we want resurrection without the crucifixion. We want clarity without confusion. We want certainty without loss. We want wisdom without the work. You guys know the magic phrase hocus pocus. There's lots of history on where that phrase comes from. But the phrase hocus pocus was used by early magicians in modern Europe, early modern Europe, which I think was a parody or a corruption of the Latin phrase for the Eucharist. So for the Eucharist, whenever it's time for the Lord's Supper, basically, they say hoc est corpus, which is Latin for this is my body. So they're saying it's a riff. Magic is a riff on that phrase. It's literally. So I want to tease out something today. I think, what if Christianity is a magic trick? The push from most conservative scholarship is that the magicians are making fun of Christianity by saying hocus pocus. But I kind of want to push back on that and say maybe Christianity is a magic trick, and it's supposed to be. So there's my tease for today. The problem is, I think we've been cleaning to something like the pledge. Here's the object. We avoid the loss of the object. We just want it to be back. I want to keep explaining that as we go on. But everybody think about your upbringing in religion, Christianity. Think about either explicitly or implicitly. Someone taught you, Sunday school taught you, that faith should feel stable, resolved, certain. Like people taught us this. Sunday school taught us this. Sunday mornings taught us this. Like, this is what faith is. It's the first. It's the pledge. This is it. This is the object. Here it is. You can see it. So just to keep it going, I'm going to explain what I mean by those three phrases with Christianity. Okay. So the pledge is where your faith begins. Think of it like a formula: A plus B equals C. If you believe enough, or rightly enough, U, which is A, B is believing right, C equals heaven. God is behind the veil. If you do these steps, you'll get to God. God is behind our veil. He's not behind their veil. We do church right. God is back here. This is how you get to God. All that. The pledge is where you're handed a system of beliefs. You're handed clear doctrines. You're handed moral categories. You're handed a God that makes sense. You're handed heaven, satisfaction, fulfillment. It's just on the other side of the veil. It's A plus B equals C. Here's the penny. You can see it. It's the object. It's safe. It works. It gives you structure and identity. It gives you a sense of belonging. This is a reason why traditional church structures work, is because we're all gathering around the thing that's behind the veil. You can't see it, but if you do the right stuff, you can experience it, or we can all collectively buy in that we are experiencing it.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And the pledge is not bad. But you got to see the penny. Okay. You need the pledge. Like, you need the first step. But the danger comes is when we mistake the pledge for the whole thing. Like, you can't survive on the pledge. You can't have the whole magic trick if you don't have the original penny that's sitting there with you. So we all know this. It's like faith is when faith becomes like defending ideas. Our church versus your church. Our religion's right. We guard God from questions. We kind of give in to pretending, all that. Faith is not faith, and it becomes just belief or expectation management. You just got to manage people's expectations accordingly. If you keep showing up to church services and you're not feeling the Spirit, we typically blame you for it. Like, you're not, like, well, this is real. God is over here. You're just not XYZ. So think about that. Think about the experiences you've had where you've done the things and it's like it's not working out. And I've also told you guys this story, but this story rings in my brain. I was literally in Asheville on Friday and I was talking about it. This is like, it does something to me. So about 150-ish, or about 100 years before the birth of Jesus, this guy named Pompey the Great, Roman general, conquers Jerusalem. I've told you guys this story. Just entertain me. He knows about the Jewish temple. He knows about the Holy of Holies. The veil is there. That's where God is. God is behind the veil. So sacred, only one person enters in. The priest enters in. Pompey is obviously fascinated. God's got to be back there. And so history tells us that Pompey goes behind the veil. He waltzes behind the veil. You guys know the story. Like, you know the Old Testament. Like, you're not supposed to do that. He marches in, pulls back the curtain, and what does he find? Nothing. It's empty. He says he finds it untenable, meaning no one's living there. There's no statue. There's no image. There's no glowing source. It's just empty. Emptiness. The shock of the story is that there was no God there. And longtime atheists and materialists have used that as an example of like making fun of religion, because there's nobody there. God is not behind the veil, you know. However, I actually think there's something far more deeper and more beautiful going on in the story. We assume that if we can just see clearly enough, faith is going to be complete. If we believe enough, we believe rightly. If we go to the right church, if we do the emotional music thing, we serve on the church team, if we start going to the small group, then whatever your XYZ or your C is, your A plus B equals C. The thing is that God is resisting being turned into an object. Like, God is resisting being placed behind the veil. If you do A plus B equals C, like the thing is like God's refusing to be trapped in the sea behind the veil. The veil is not hiding something. Like, what if it's a trick? Like, in the beautiful sense, like, what if it's a magic trick? It's the Wizard of Oz thing. Or what if it is a trick and it's supposed to be a trick? Let me talk about the turn. So you got the pledge. Here's the penny. The turn is when it's gone, disappears. The magic trick. This is the tension of the trick. It's like, I've seen the dove and now the dove's not there. I've seen the penny, now the penny's not there. The person is cut in half. The penny's not in hand anymore. All that. Spiritually, using it as a metaphor, it looks like the time of doubt, of deconstruction, of disillusionment, of silence, loss of certainty. It's when you pierce the veil and you find it empty, but no one's there the whole time. You watch the Taylor Swift documentary and you say, if you just change some words around, this looks like passion, this looks like a church service, and you're like, it's the same thing. It's like you start having these, it's like there's nothing there. There's nothing behind the veil. We can pretend there's something behind the veil, but like you can play an elevation, give me faith, as I did this morning, gave me some chills. But also I'm listening to Joe Keery sing In the Beginning, and it gives me chills. Like
All just chord structure.
what are we doing? It is.
That's crazy though, the comparison, like it's just passion, like that.
It is.
Dang, that's a good one.
Sorry, Lou Giglio. Again, the turn is not the loss of faith, and this is if there's anything I've been trying to say for 5 years, it's like that's not the problem. Like the stumbling behind the veil is probably the most mature thing that can happen to you, is to see that there's nobody behind the veil. That's all I'm trying to argue for. Like the magic trick is necessary. You can't have the prestige where it reappears without the loss of it. So Jesus not only experienced the turn, he experienced betrayal, abandonment, the silence of God. He says, literally, my God, why have you forsaken me? But I think Jesus' MO was pointing out that there's nobody behind the veil. There's this whole line of history that's so much fun to look into. Early pictures of Jesus, like drawings of Jesus, show him with a wand. You guys know about this?
No.
It's bizarre. He's like standing. He has a magic wand. And so there's a lot of scholarship called Jesus the Magician. Crazy stuff. Anyways, it's because he's healing people and casting out demons, and there's lots of thoughts there. But I'm just entertain me for a second. I think Jesus was in on the joke. I think he was in on the magic trick. Mark 13, Jesus says, not one stone here, talking about the temple, will be left upon another. The ultimate religious symbol is going to fall, is what Jesus is saying. Mark 11, he's talking about the temple, and he says, you have made it into a den of robbers. Not trying to reform the temple, but it's an indictment. Like Jesus is calling the entire religious economy corrupt. John 4, the woman at the well, he says, a time is coming when you will worship the Father not on the mountain, nor in Jerusalem. The space where you're supposed to be worshiping God's no longer there. I think Jesus is in on the joke. Matthew 21, tax collectors and prostitutes are entering the kingdom of God ahead of you. He's saying this to the religious leaders. So the moral and religious outsiders are closer to God than those who are on the inside. Matthew 23, Jesus speaking to the Pharisees again. He says, whitewashed tombs, you're outwardly beautiful, but inwardly you're full of dead bones. The religious certainty is hiding the spiritual death. Like Jesus was in on the magic trick. I don't think Jesus is an actual magician, but metaphorically, I think it makes sense. So Jesus didn't just experience the loss and the disruption and the abandonment. I think he taught it, and I think he was in on the joke. His message consistently announced the collapse of religious certainty. Like he was trying to point us to this, that sacred spaces will lose their power. God's not going to be found in that boxed up place where you've put him. Jesus located God among the sinners, the outsiders, the spiritually unsure, doubtful. He undermined purity systems, culture, challenged moral confidence, and taught that real life only comes in the midst of the loss. So faith, if you've gone through the moments of loss and deconstruction and disillusionment, it's not that your faith is falling. It means you're actually growing up. Like, is God behind the veil of A plus B equals C? And you stumble behind the veil and that God's not there. You're agreeing with Jesus. Like, that's a necessary part of your development. Like, we can keep pretending that God's over here. And if you just do enough and you pray enough and you sing enough and you believe it enough and you go to the right church and you serve on the teams and all that stuff, that you'll experience God. Like, you just think about that. It's so comforting and reassuring. Like, what happens when you don't? Like, you got to have some kind of response. So back to the prestige. I promise I'm done. The prestige, remember, so the penny's here. That's the first, the pledge. The penny disappears in the magic trick. The prestige is when it shows back up and it's been under the cup the whole time. You guys didn't even see me put it under the cup. So the prestige is not the penny's back in my hand. The prestige is, oh, it's been under the cup. Okay? I have a penny in my hand. I'm going to rub it on my elbow. It's still here. I'm going to rub it on my elbow, and it's gone. And I say, oh, look at this. And it's been under the cup. You guys didn't see me put it under the cup. That's the prestige. That's the power of the magic trick. It's not getting the same penny back. It's not everything feeling fuzzy again. It's not even getting certainty back. It's not just the return of old faith. It's something that's humbler, true, and more alive. Like the penny returns, but it's not the same penny, is it? Like something that's transformed and different. So that's the trick. Is you thought it was there, and it's not. Surprise, it's over here instead. Does that make sense? You sit and you wait for the penny to reappear in my hand, and it's not there. You will not find the penny under the cup unless you realize it's not there. And you look under the cup and you find the penny. So as you're waiting for the sacred to show back up in the exact same spot you perhaps thought it was, Pete Rollins gives his example. As you're sitting there waiting in the loss of the penny, you look to the person next to you and you ask them about their week, and they start sharing how it was a shitty week. And you get to carry it with them. He's like, you find the penny. He's like, you spend time with your kid and you have a beautiful interaction moment. It's like, there's the penny. He's like, you keep waiting for the penny to show up behind the veil again, and it doesn't. But in the waiting, in the loss, and in the disillusionment, that's the only time that you can actually discover the penny somewhere else. The only time. Like you can't actually see the sacred show up. If God is always going to be behind the veil, he will never be anywhere else. So you have to let that God die to discover God everywhere else. Like that's the whole magic trick.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I think I'm following up right here. So
We got a lot of stuff going on. We got magic. We got.
Well, no, but it's fascinating, and I'm like, I think it's like I like looking at it. This makes a lot of sense because it's like we're looking at the wrong thing, and when we start to like notice what's actually around us, is when we truly see. Like God, is that what is that essentially the gist?
Yeah.
Of like we're looking, especially like if we were raised fundamentalist or evangelical, we're looking at like very specific like God-like things. Like this is the way God is. This is how God is. This is instead of seeing God in the little moment of your kid brings you a flower they picked. Yeah. Like you see them you're able to see God like just in everyday moments. Is that kind of like what you're
and you can't get there unless the collapse of the first one happens.
Okay, I got you.
So as long as God is still somewhere locked up, you can keep exchanging the veil. It's just behind this door. It's just behind that door. It's just a different door. It's just a progressive door. It's just a conservative door. You just switch sides. It's still behind the door.
Kind of like it's almost like you're still swinging the pendulum too far to one, no matter what. Like you're just trading one for another. Yeah.
And so I'm trying to say that Christianity is the magic trick. Like it's trying to tell you that like the Holy of Holies is empty. Like that's the trick. It's like God's not there. Like that's the like if you want to say what sets Christianity apart, it's that Christianity affirms the death of God. God is not behind the veil. God is out among the riffraff.
And like to further the magic analogy, it's like the veil is the magic wand.
That's right.
Magic wand, like the point of the wand is that it's sleight of hand. You're watching the wand instead of what he's doing with his other hand.
That's right.
So if we're watching the veil and thinking God's back there, we're missing everything else.
That's right.
We never get the prestige.
It's prestige. So you stop asking, is this belief correct? Is this behind the veil? Is this going to get me closer to that one that's behind you? And you start asking, is this way of life creating love, compassion, justice, sacrifice, generosity, hope, self-control, goodness, mercy? Like that's where you discover the penny again. And you can't discover the penny there unless you let the penny be disappeared in the first hand. So resurrection doesn't undo the crucifixion. You have to have the crucifixion first to get to the resurrection. Whenever Jesus shows back up, he's not a normal Jesus. Like he's got scars and he's eating fish, but he's just like appearing and disappearing. And he's like walking through walls. So it's fundamentally different. Like for the magic trick to actually happen, I have two pennies. And like this is a pretend penny and this is the real penny. This is the surprise. This is what you need. This is the magic trick. The penny's actually there. That's a big turn. And so whenever the resurrection, this beautiful transformed thing that you can experience and should experience, like that's the point. You have to let the first one go. So Jesus shows back up, but different. It's transformed. So the prestige, the end, here's the penny, it's under the cup, is not just certainty reborn. It's not just the first thing again. It's something fundamentally different. It's your faith being freed from something that's stationary, fixed, momentary, codified behind a formula. And it's freed to become an actual way of life that you can give yourself to. So this is when I talk about God being found in compassion, God being found in like you sacrificially giving your money, you sacrificially giving your time, you carrying hope, you carrying generosity, you carrying an other-centered posture. Like that's actually where God is. And I'm riffing on Jesus. Like Jesus was the magician. Like Jesus knew the trick, and he's trying to relocate this stuff for us. Like he's in the courage. Like you want to find the penny again. It's not going to be in the temple. It's going to be in the courage. Does that make sense? So most people leave on the turn. The materialists and the atheists left on the turn. God's not there. The penny's gone. The trick failed. God left. God's never been there. XYZ. But I think if you can just entertain it for a little bit, I think the invitation is to stay, is to stick around for the prestige. To trust that disappearance is not the end, that the emptiness is not the abandonment, that God is not behind the veil, but God is in the act of trusting without seeing. Like that's when you experience it. He's in compassion and love and generosity and standing for justice. Like that's where the sacred is. Faith is not just believing harder to get behind that veil or this veil. You go to a different church and they have a different veil that you can get behind or should get behind. And it works. Like it feels good. Like you think about it, like you walk into a traditional church setting and you're a part of us collectively knowing that there's something behind the veil there. And we can all get to it, We're going to sing some songs and we're going to feel it together. And we read these books and you come to our stuff and we're still going to dance in front of the veil for us to experience whatever's behind it. But I think what Christianity is actually getting at and the actual power of Christianity is that it's a magic trick saying that there's nothing behind the veil. It's not saying that God is not real. It's just saying that God is not there. And that is very different.
That makes me have think of a question.
Yeah.
So growing up, I remember always hearing the life of a Jesus follower is hard, and it's not. This is take up your cross and follow me, and so is that a biblical thing that it's not supposed to be some easy thing? Is that
following Jesus?
Yeah, is that a legitimate thing? Because my thought is that if everything is behind a veil and it's just so simple for us to go and feel feelings because we're with like-minded people with music that makes us feel things, then it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're actually looking,
sure.
It's maybe it is hard to follow Jesus, but maybe it's hard in the sense of it has to be other-centered.
Sure.
It's supposed to, we're supposed to put ourselves second to our neighbor. We're supposed to be uncomfortable. We're supposed to use the resources that we have at our disposal for others. That is, that's what
it's hard because it involves courage.
Yeah.
It involves compassion.
It involves
and,
laying down your life and saying, no, I care about you and I care about, it's not just me and my family. It's you and your family and your family and your family. And that's why. So it's almost there's truth to growing up. It's hard to do that, but not because we think
persecuted.
Not because
sure.
we think gay people are trying to ruin marriage, and we think not because of that. It's not hard because we feel like we're being attacked. It's hard because we are legitimately supposed to lay down our own lives for those around us and to be Jesus and not be behind the veil. Show those moments in how we live.
Yeah.
Well, I feel the turn part of the trick's hard too. The finding out God's not behind the veil, that's a hard moment in your faith journey. That's a scary, hard moment. So I feel that part of it is what you're doing.
And a lot of people don't get to the prestige because
you don't go through the
they can't
loss.
fathom that
And,
God's not like that.
and like you said, sometimes it is tempting to not tempting, but like you think about like going back and you do have good feelings. Like, you know, like the music.
Yeah, I mean, it
makes you feel
works, yeah.
something. Like it does.
But it doesn't
like,
have
but
to
at
be
the
bad.
end, yeah. But at the end of it, it's like you still are feeling this emptiness feeling. But like in the moment, yeah, like you're, like you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
when you're,
like feels like
when you're,
inadequate.
yeah, like when you're like, you know, the worship songs you played before, when everyone in the room is screaming that worship song, you're like,
Yeah, it's
okay,
powerful.
listening.
Yeah.
But we watched the Taylor Swift documentary on the Eras tour, and I was like, every single person in that room at the Taylor Swift concert is feeling something, and just as much as somebody at Passion is feeling something.
We talked about this while you were gone.
Oh, you did?
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Oh,
That was perfect.
yeah,
But
like.
yeah.
Well, it's like when we
That's
got
it.
back in
But which
Leah.
is like a beautiful thing that you can go to a Taylor Swift concert and feel what you're feeling.
Like
Like,
all connected.
yeah,
It's the communal experience.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
where it's like that's just like human connection.
Sure.
And so that's where it's
I
like
can feel that
community
energy.
is important.
Yeah, that's right.
And I see so much of like the community aspect of like I think that's biblical. Like we're meant to be in community and we're emotional beings. And it's like me and Leah were talking. I was like, but I still I love Maverick City music. Like
Yeah.
those songs
Yeah.
like still like I hear them and like that still it made me feel things and feel emotional and all this. And it's like when you have like another experience, you have to kind of like you're taking the good with the bad.
Sure.
Almost like you're saying like, oh, like this is an emotional experience, but that doesn't mean because like sometimes it can feel manipulative. Sometimes it can feel like your emotions are being manipulated by the environment, and you're saying, "Oh, God's behind the veil," but it's like, does that lessen the emotional impact that you're feeling, even with the Eras tour? Like you're still a human being with these. I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm just rambling, but it's
Oh,
just
soon.
like, how do
and
you-
like you said, you can find the good in it too. Like,
yeah, like how
I
do
mean,
you
obviously,
hold
he's
both?
not saying like Maverick City, you know. Of the
Oh,
devil,
yeah,
you know,
right,
but it's like
Of course.
But it's also like okay, now that you're feeling this way and you're in our group, like whatever it is, okay, now you have to do this. You have to
Right,
conform
right.
to this.
right,
And that's where the turn of the church happens.
yeah,
Of like, okay, now if you want God, you got to now do what we're telling you.
If
to
you like this feeling, you got it.
yes.
Yeah, there's more, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's like the like praying on the inadequacy that feeling,
mm-hmm.
the turn that they do when you have that feeling. So
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
a concert where everybody loves the person we're watching, whatever. And that's and that's godly. I
Yeah.
think God's created us
Absolutely.
communally. So I think it's like finding God in all those moments.
Yeah.
For sure.
But then when somebody prays on it to tell you to do something or conform to them,
Sure.
that's where it's like the cult thing. Like Addie and I were talking about brain rot, the whatever group thing that and I was like, what are you watching over?
I'm not watching.
No, I know you're not, and that's why I was like, wait, what? But then we talked about like, right, but when somebody then tells you, okay, now that this is cool, you have to do this, right?
Uh-huh. Cool.
Or at church, right? But or if somebody at church says, okay, now that you're in our club, you have to do this or believe this certain way or whatever. That's where it becomes like dangerous,
Yeah,
I
sure.
think, and not godly.
Right.
Yeah. I think if you go through the magic trick
Yeah.
and you go through the loss, like we were talking about this morning, I was playing our traditional Christian songs on the way in, and we were singing "Give Me Faith" by Elevation, and we're talking about like, is there stuff inherently wrong in the words? There are probably a lot of worship songs that's like, this is just flat wrong. We know this is incorrect, but
This is not how this works,
Yeah.
man.
it's like this is just wrong. But it's like you can actually revisit these things in a healthy posture
Yeah.
Yeah.
only if you let the magic trick keep going. If you're in on the joke and you're in on the trick, then you can step back in and enjoy God where God is found. Like that's the power of it. Is like you before the penny's still here.
That makes a lot of
Or
sense.
you could go to a Taylor Swift concert and find God there.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. Like,
God is definitely at the Taylor Swift
Yeah.
concert. I know that for sure.
oh, but after we watched that, we were like, I'm pretty sure there's like she just so I don't know if anybody watched it or not, but the way she loves other people and takes care of other people and gives and just it was just beautiful. Like it was like you could see like God in her. Like I told Blake, we were joking about. I was like, I'm pretty sure there was more like Jesus-y stuff going on in the Taylor Swift concert than there was.
You're like, you could probably pick out all the
I'm
fruit
like,
of the spirit.
It was
Yeah, that's
it was truly just like it was a beautiful thing. So
Which I think that's cool too, is like I've been thinking a lot about like the fruit of the spirit and like how that is how you like the Bible tells us that's how you know.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna have a branch produce, like you're not gonna have dead, like it's not gonna work that way. And so it's like you can see all of those things in something as simple as a Taylor Swift concert. You can see someone like interacting with fans and staff and people and whatever with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, judgment. Like you can see all of that, and those. I mean, that's just this. Like that's.
I think you can't understand. Like if God is still behind the veil, that you have to do all these steps to get to, or believe the right things to get to that God, or the only one person, that guru, can understand God. We gotta listen to that guru. Then the fruit of the Spirit is not like it. The Spirit is not in compassion and joy and peace and patience, because the Spirit's over there behind the veil. So the only way for the Spirit to actually show up and be in compassion, love, and general, like that's where God is now. The only way you can get there is if you experience the loss of God behind the veil. So, not to just throw some last things at you, but like I said, I'm trying to qualify application points on this. But there's like 1,000. One is the guru. You don't need a guru to go behind the veil for you. Like no one's got to pierce the veil for you. God's not there. The correct codified thoughts to get to that God that's back there, like the perfect answer. This is why I push back on the both sides. The conservative traditional God, here's our answers. It's behind this veil. The progressives are doing the exact same thing. It's our answers. It's God's over here actually, and they're both just doing the exact same thing. Pete Rollins has this. I've told you has this before. He says the church, like the real church, authentic church community, is not the community with the perfect answer. They're not the ones with the best answer. They're the ones who are trying to live well amidst the loss and amidst like rioting the idea of a perfect answer. So the church is not the ones who have the perfect answer. We're not doing Mosaic because our answer is different or better than everybody else's. What we're trying to do is we're trying to live well, kind of protesting the whole ideology of a perfect answer. I'm trying to riot that God's not behind the veil. So I'm not just trying to give you guys another answer. Our answer is better than the church over there. So pick our answer. Here's our veil. You know, that's it. You're doing the exact same thing. God's still behind the veil. But you have to let the loss of the perfect answer be a thing for you to discover God everywhere else.
So how do you not swim within the one direction? Asking for a friend. I would never.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really, really hard for me.
I feel like it can easily be like cyclical. Like you start like a certain sea, you do the turn, and then you find like, oh, that's over. But then you could easily get sucked back into a singular point of view, you know, in that even. I feel like,
Well, what did you say? How do you not?
cycle was, it was months and months ago, but there's something about like,
I've probably given you a bunch of cycles.
oh gosh,
It's probably the stage of the face.
stages of faith.
Simplicity, complexity, perplexity, harmony.
Like I feel like when you swing the pendulum, you're making it simplicity or something. If you get that wrong, but then you enter back into complexity. But that's where God says that, and that's what I didn't talk about all of that. Is God's not afraid of our questions.
Yeah.
He's not. You can say whatever you want to him, and I'm not simple, but like you know, because I do the same thing, the pendulum or whatever,
Yeah.
That's my. I think my
and that's
biggest
okay.
struggle is like
Yeah.
swinging it too far, and thinking that being right about it is somehow impactful.
Yeah,
at all.
and then say out loud, I think I swung the pendulum.
Yeah.
I think I need to quit, and that's okay. Like right as you like train your brain, you're just creating new pathways too in your literal brain.
Yeah.
Your buttery little brain's like, oh no, my life is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's hard to do. Like, it's hard to pave that new pathway. It's hard.
It is because it's hard to accept that I'm doing the same thing just in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And I am or I have the capacity to cause as much or more harm.
Right.
And then it's like, well, crap. That's not what we want.
Yeah.
It's just
Now I
really
have children. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, try. Yeah,
So is it like whenever you start to feel certain about something?
probably. It's like you can be.
Always question yourself.
Rhett McLaughlin said this in a podcast. How do you say his last name? Said that he defines evangelical churches as churches who are high on confidence and they have high confidence with low information. And I was like, that's a brilliant way of saying that. So it's like, okay, I want to be high informative. I'm not saying like low confidence because I'm pretty confident, but I'm also not like trying to kill somebody for my thought on it. Like I'm pretty convicted.
Yeah, like open to being wrong about
Yeah, I'm pretty convicted, but I'm not so sure sometimes.
That sounds like
Like
you're
ground.
ground of it.
Yeah.
And open to being wrong. Of
Yes.
like- and that feels really hard when, at least for me, being raised in such a specific, I mean, very fundamental, like rule following environment. It's so hard. I don't know, that, just what you said, like that is extremely hard.
Yeah.
We can keep talking about this forever. Let me just land it real quick.
Sorry. I'm
No, you're fine. I want to say that dependence on the God that's behind the veil is not maturity.
Is not what?
Not maturity. You standing behind the veil, on the other side of the veil, doing the dances and the beliefs and the rituals and trying to pretend that God's still there is not the maturity. I've said this before, but if I need Taylor to affirm her love for me every 4 minutes, that doesn't show that I trust her.
Oh wow.
So that's what I'm trying to argue for.
I do really well with these like direct.
That's my
examples.
example.
Like they really, I'm like, whoa.
Like I need her to tell me she loves me. But if I'm so insecure, I'm gonna stay on the outside of the veil. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure God's there. Here's me or XYZ. That's not maturity. Maturity actually looks like dependence. Like me trusting Taylor. Even if she does XYZ, she doesn't text me that she loves me every 4 minutes. She doesn't. I'm not insecure about it.
Very cute thing for your 30th.
You did. Very cute thing. But the more I'm dependent on stuff like that, it shows you that I'm immature and I don't trust her. So this is my whole thing about the joke at the very beginning, the mystic and the fundamentalist and evangelical. Most of the time we tell that story and we say, be like the mystic, man. Like you're just like, I knew I got all this wrong. You go into the pearly gates. I'm going to say, dare to be the fundamentalist who has the you're in on the joke and you know that even the absolute doesn't have the answers. Does that make sense? The fundamentalist marches in there behind the veil and says, this ain't it. So I'm kind of trying to turn the I want to turn the table on it, and I want to say, dare to be the fundamentalist. That you're in on the joke and you're in on the magic trick, and you know that that's not where God is. So that's why Jesus walks out of there saying, I can't believe I got all that wrong. I think it's really funny because you can do it in multiple spins. But the spin I'm trying to say today is dare to be the fundamentalist. As you can look at the absolute, like even the absolutes
What if I was
doesn't have the
that
answer.
aspirable?
There you go. But that's like that's the turn. That's what makes Christianity set apart, is that we believe in the death of God. So living well without the perfect answer behind the veil, I think that's the power of the story of Jesus, and that's why I talk about the other thing, following Jesus. Like that's actually what matters. Like we can talk about everything. Is the perfect answer this thought on creation and this thought on atonement and this thought on hell and this thought on church and all this stuff? I don't think so. But I'm going to give myself to these practices and these ways of ethics primarily and firstly, because I think that's the main thing. So there's the magic trick. Maybe Jesus was a magician, and I think in this way he was. And I think Christianity is the magic trick. And if anything, it's the detailing of the human experience. And that's why it has something to say right now. So any thoughts, comments, questions before we end? This has been something that's like, I feel like I'm always thinking about. And we went to a birthday party yesterday, and it was at a church building, a normal traditional space.
You're about to come to one in a week.
Let's go. And I was like looking around. I was like the lights and chairs and the wood paneling on the back, and I was like, it makes me feel something, just like being present here. And I was like, we can do it, man. We can do it. And say the wizards. I'm gonna mess it up. The wizards back there, I guess, behind the curtain or whatever.
Man,
When we were
What?
are you late? you're referencing.
I'm trying to be Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be the man behind the curtain.
The man behind the curtain. Yeah.
When we were in Savannah for a work trip the other week, we went to the Cathedral Basilica there, and I was so surprised at how emotional I was walking in there, because I think for such a long stretch of years now, I've been frustrated with church, and that's a huge big sign of a church, right? That's an actual church. And so I was really surprised in myself that I was feeling emotional walking in there, and feeling kind of having a spiritual moment in a church building. It was a weird thing for me, but it was cool because I was oh, I feel that showed growth in myself, and I was feeling really proud about myself for that, because I think I can be really cynical sometimes about churches. So
But I think you can only get there is if you have been through
go
it.
through the
Yeah. And you can step back into it in a beautiful, honorable way.
Yeah.
But I mean, even calling it a magic trick may sound derogatory. I don't mean it in a derogatory sense. I'm just trying to use it as a metaphor. It's it's a magic trick, and you can enjoy the magic trick. Do I actually believe the penny disappeared? Probably not, but I'm in on it, man. I'm here for it. And you can have the experience, and you can listen to Give Me Faith, and it gives me chills still. I know every single word to most of the songs. And you can still experience God, but you also know that you've grown. You've matured.
And that's not the only place you're experiencing that.
That's right. That's right. So ethics matters, and compassion matters. And that's because I think that's where Jesus is that's where the penny's at. That's what Jesus was saying the whole time. The penny's actually over here under the cup. So you didn't expect it under the cup. Oh yeah, I feel like I could just keep turning it around. So, all right, everybody, there's Jesus the magician for us today. So, anything else? We need to redo the kids stuff. Cade's in there right now.
Yeah, I will.
Probably need to go tap him out.
I send that out today.
One day, whenever I get good at making everybody pizzas, we will do a whole pizza night. That'd be